Well, the smiling face of Krish Dhanam is back with you for one more conversation on service. Some years ago, I had the privilege of authoring a book called Twilight, a small pocket book. It was an ode to my mentor. Twilight's an unusual name for a book, but the byline of the book is actually how one man gave unity in a verse to my universe. He actually was very, very open about the fact that I was from a different country, and he really wanted to mentor me through a service mindset. And one of the stories I use in that book is very, very important to share, because here was a man who was mentoring me, who at that time had written almost 20 books, 9 of which had been made on the New York Times bestseller list. In addition to that, he was garnering a fee of about $50,000 a speech. And I know that for a fact because I booked many of those speeches all over the world as I traveled with him as his aide. But as I sat in his office, there was a big seminar that was coming to Dallas. Now, this is for you corporate people out there. This is for you people out there who are watching this and asking yourself the question, how can I change my surroundings so that other people are elevated? How can I stop thinking of me, myself, and I, and worrying about what I can do for humanity in general? Other people can give you pleasure, but you will never find true happiness until you learn to do something for someone else. As I sat in Mr. Ziglar's office, he looked at me and he says, "Son, why are you so forlorn?" I said, "Mr. Z, there's a big seminar coming to Dallas. They have extended it to 2 days. There'll be 65,000 people. It's going to be 4 venues. But I got the schedule and I'm only on there for 15 minutes on one of the days." He says, "And the problem is," I said, "everybody I know lives in Dallas. I travel all over the world and speak, and I just want to be on more programs in Dallas if possible for the rest of my selfish desire for a little aggrandizement, I guess. 15 minutes is enough in front of 25,000 people, but I wanted 15 minutes times 4 in front of 65,000, human greed. But I'll never be able to do justice to the next moment." When he said, "Pick up the phone, let's call the organizers." I picked up the phone, we dialed the organizers. He says, "How come Krish only has 15 minutes? He says, "Well, sir, we're juggling schedules of the likes of Colin Powell and Rudy Giuliani. The former First Lady Laura Bush is here. And by the time we juggle the schedules and their busyness over the 2 days over 4 venues, we could only give Krish 15 minutes. Mr. Ziglar didn't even bat an eyelid. He said, "How many minutes have you given me?" He says, "Sir, you're the star of the show. We have given you your hour and 15 in all 4 locations." He says, "The math is simple. This is my boy. I've raised him for this moment. This is the town where he's going to be glorified because this is where he never gets to speak. Why don't I make a deal with you? Take 15 minutes off my schedule in each one of those locations and give it to my boy." That was the day my career took off. I stood in front of 65,000 people for 15 minutes a slot. But I didn't talk about motivation or some grandiose. I just shared that story. And companies all over the world started inviting me, saying, "You know what? If a man like Mr. Ziglar can give up his space." Here's the principle on selflessness. Be in someone's shadow, it's okay. If they're truly gifted, if the light is falling on them, stay in their shadow. When they move, it'll fall on you.